Hello everyone, Gifted Soul here. So I wanted to do a little update for you all. So I don't know where to start this. I guess I'm finally ready to talk about it. It is still kind of a daily struggle for me, so bear with me. Um, so not long ago, I announced to you guys that I was pregnant. I had just found out in that week. And so I had already knew I was pregnant because I took tests and stuff, but of course there's rare occasions where you can get false positives and things like that. So you go to the doctor to get checked out. Eventually I would have had to go anyway because you still have to confirm with a blood test regardless. So yeah, so I did find out that I was pregnant in August. Um, we had conceived that in July. I think it was like July 30th. Um, so I wasn't expecting it until I had got an early period actually, or what I thought was a period. And so because it was early, that's the first signal for me to get a pregnancy test. It was about a week early. So I wasn't expecting a period, but it was like my cycle. I have had issues with it off and on, so I figured maybe it's just one of those small issues that I'm having. Maybe it is a period, but then I had thought about it being too early, and then on top of that, the flow, consistency, color, everything was just not matching up what it was supposed to. Other than that, I felt like my normal self, but I felt like I had to check. The first time I checked, I was getting negative results. They were coming back negative. But then when I checked, I would say a day or two after those negative results, I had took another test and then they were positive. It was a brand that I didn't trust because it's a brand that I do not use. I just saw a great deal on them online, and I was intend to buy them with the intent of setting up, a store. I was going to sell different things. So they weren't ever for me to use personally. They were purchased for me to sell, but so far they haven't. There's people looking at the listings, but they're not buying or showing any interest. But yeah, so I did that. I went to the Family Dollar and got another test, and I think I still have the test here. Whoops. Yep, I still have them here because a lot of people, when they're pregnant, at least for the first time, most people, they keep, you know, things for keepsakes, and I wanted to keep mine. So this is the test I used. The second brand test I used. The first brand I did not use. I did use but didn't trust. So this is the one I got. It's Family Wellness. It's a Family Dollar brand. It was like $4, but with tax it was like $8 and something. That's depending on location, I guess. But you get two tests. This is a brand I've taken before, so I knew I could trust it. No need to get First Response or Clear Blue, all of that. You don't necessarily need all of that. Just because it's a more expensive brand, it doesn't mean it's going to work any better or worse. So that's what I went with, and the lines are still there. Don't know, you could probably see it clear because I'm using a different phone, so you could probably see the first video I made announcing I was pregnant. You could probably see those. So that's number one, and then the second one, yeah. So I was pregnant. It was almost time for me to do my follow-up week with the doctors. It was the coming up the week where I was supposed to be choosing the OBGYN who was going to deliver my baby and stuff like that, and who I was going to be seeing for my checkups and stuff. So it took me a minute to choose. I didn't actually choose because I was just I didn't know who I wanted to see. I was going to go with possibly the doctors that delivered my younger sister's babies. So she was going to be my main choice. But I had never got around to choosing. But it was coming up my week to do that because they give you 3 or 4 weeks to choose somebody because they want a lot of doctors now. I'm guessing all of them, they will not see you until you're far along. They won't see you in the beginning of your pregnancy. So, yeah. So it's coming up my week to choose. On a Saturday, I think it was September 7th, I had spotting. And that spotting led to me wanting to go get checked at the emergency room because obviously there's no doctor's offices open around the time that I experienced my symptoms. So the emergency room you don't want to necessarily go to, but it's an option. It's there if you cannot go to a facility where you can see a regular doctor and you're having some trouble like at nighttime or obviously when there's nothing open. That's where you go. So that's why I went there, because I know people say emergency room is not where you go because they don't check you thoroughly. Most of the time they're just trying to get you in and get you out. But anyways, I went and my sister ended up coming to the emergency room and sat with my mom. My younger sister, she's just a year younger than me, by the way. She has had babies before. She's got two, a boy and a girl. And I, she saw me. I was coming out of the little office thing where you have to fill out your billing information and sign your HIPAA and all that type of stuff and your insurance and stuff. So I was doing that and I come out and I see her and my nephew along with my mom, and she was like, well, you know what you're experiencing is normal, right? I said, possibly, but you still want to get checked. And this being my first pregnancy, I was going to be paranoid with a lot of things. So any little sign of trouble or just to be safe, obviously, if it's me, I'm going to go get it checked out. So I had got, so obviously they did the blood test and they did urine, and what they came back and said was that I had a miscarriage. So, I didn't know how to take that news at first, and I still don't. And, yeah. But because of that, one particular hospital has misdiagnosed me a few times because I've gotten second opinions from other doctors about certain issues, and these second opinions would always say something different or they would actually find other things. So, with this one, I did get a second opinion because people are misdiagnosed with miscarriages all the time. And then I guess that was just a way of me maybe not accepting that it happened. But also, my partner wanted me to get rechecked because that was his way of not accepting it. And because, well, I'm not even going to go there right now, but he wanted me to get rechecked just because he was looking forward to it, and he was trying to not accept it. So he was just like, okay, well, definitely get rechecked. The me getting a second opinion was giving him hope. So and it was giving me hope too, but I had already figured if the doctors, if they said I had a miscarriage, I probably did. But this doctor wasn't making any sense with some things, so I did get retested. But the second opinion did say that I miscarried as well. So to hear the same news, the same bad news over again, it, you would think it hurts less to hear it the second time around, but it didn't. Now I'm just now, so September 7th when I had the miscarriage, but September 11th is when I got results back from another opinion. So the emergency room didn't actually do an ultrasound or anything. So that's what was concerning. They just went off of my HCG levels and the spotting. They didn't go off of. They did do pregnancy tests. It was coming back negative, but there was HCG in my system. So numbers, I don't care if it's at a number one. They're not enough to go off of. So in all cases, I've read too many stories, and it's happened with my older sister. She's about 6 or 7 years older than I am, and she has had situations where they couldn't find a baby and things like that. And that's another reason why I got rechecked, because she wanted me to also. And she wasn't accepting it either, which was crazy, because she was like, well, you need to get rechecked. And then when I got the second opinion and told her, she was like, well, why? Like, you need to get rechecked again. And I'm just like, what's the point? I've been told already twice that I am not pregnant anymore. So why do I want to continue doing it? Why do I want to continue having to hear that over and over and over and over again? But so yeah, I just want to update you guys. September 7th is when I had the miscarriage. It was on a Saturday. It was like beginning to get dark outside, but it was still light. It was like the afternoon or evening, whatever. September 11th is when I got the results back from me getting tested again. And the second doctor did a transvaginal ultrasound. They saw no sac, no fetal pool or anything there. So, what I didn't like though was that I could not see the machine myself, even though it was right there. Because it's like people, we're not doctors, but we can maybe spot something that they don't see. Um, I will say that I do still have my pregnancy symptoms, but I have miscarried. I think that's normal to have that. Um, yeah. My cycle has not came back yet. I think they said that, actually, I believe he said I should have had it like when I bled out from the miscarriage. At first, it was just spotting that made me go get checked out. I was not heavily bleeding at all. I did have cramps, but it's like those are cramps I was having the whole pregnancy so far. So I was like, was I miscarrying over a period of days or something? Because I was cramping like that from the time I found out I was pregnant till the end, and I'm still having I'm having symptoms, okay, but I guess it's normal to have after a miscarriage. So that is my story. Also, I want to address that I will be bringing different things to my channel. Mostly it will be spiritual, and I will be doing readings and things like that. However, sometimes I do want to share things about my life, and I'm addressing that because as soon as I made that pregnancy announcement, I've noticed people were subscribing like there was no tomorrow. Now, I didn't lose that many people. I'm just being dramatic, but I lost a few almost instantly of me posting that, and I was like, okay. It was it was weird, I will say that. But if you're expecting for me to just present one thing to you all the time, I'm not. I will do readings and stuff mostly, but there will be every once in a while where I'll do a video like this, a sit down video, and tell you what's going on with me, or make great big life changing announcements because I want to share that with everybody. So I don't know if people got annoyed, offended, or whatever the case was, but that's just me. And yeah, I'm not just gonna. Now, I'm not letting other things take over my channel, no, because I built this off of my psychic abilities and off of me sharing my gift with people. But I'm not just gonna